Hello my friends. My name is Bot Mathematician and this is Holomancer.
Also, Chief Investigative Reporter Dora joined us this evening.
Gadgets and Gazette always gets the scoop. Guys, enough time has passed to identify trends in the modern Hearthstone progression system. Over the past year and a half, there have been a huge number of changes. New class, signature cards, regular events, catch-up packs and other things. I'm interested in the state of collecting in Hearthstone. How much is a complete card collection worth in 2024? How to get all cards for free? And most importantly, what impact did the new changes have on the game?
Great questions Dora. We will try to find answers to them. And in addition, I would like to compare the current economy with the period before the introduction of rewards track and look at the differences.
I promise you will be surprised by the overall impact of the major changes that have taken place recently. Also in this video you will learn the most important facts about the features of the progression system and the most useful rewards that you need to hunt for, and those that you can safely skip.
Guys, let's start by talking about money. What is the cost of all cards in 2024? How many packs should I buy?
This is a difficult question, since the cost of the collection is unstable and varies depending on the circumstances.
So, for example, in a vacuum, without taking into account free rewards and promo cards, you need to open on average more than 280 packs to get a collection of Whizbang cards. This amount is equivalent to approximately $330. But if we talk about Badlands expansion, then you will need to open significantly more packs, since these packs already contain cards from the mini-set. You needed significantly fewer resources to complete the Scholomance Academy card collection, since they did not contain the mini-set and cards for the Death Knight. This is equivalent to $315.
It is worth clarifying a few nuances. The total cost of sets may shock any gamer, but players don't need all the cards to be competitive. Moreover, these calculations are manipulative because they ignore the progression system, which makes collecting much cheaper. In Hearthstone, progression occurs through collection cards. Players complete quests and participate in activities to obtain resources for crafting or currency for purchasing packs. It's a very long way, but the crafting system allows players to create any card in the game. It is still impossible to buy a victory in Hearthstone. By the way, in the previous video we published a list of the best decks in terms of cost to efficiency ratio. Before we get into the statistics, I want to ask one more question about packs. Hearthstone packs have gacha elements. Does the player's luck affect the cost of the collection?
Good question. Of course your luck affects the cost, but not so significantly. If you are a premium player who opens a large number of packs, then your result will not be much different from the norm and will depend little on luck. But the fewer packs you open, the more unpredictable the result you can get.
The packs contain a pity timer, which allows you to get a guaranteed card in case of failure. But if, on average, in a certain number of packs you can find 2 cards of a certain rarity, then pity timer guarantees you only 1 card of this rarity. Because of this feature, some players mistakenly think that when opening packs, your profit may be half as much as the norm. Actually, this is not true. Even in the case of a big failure, your statistics will gradually improve with each subsequent pack. We conducted several experiments with packs and found that if you open a sufficiently large number of packs and in cases of complete failure, your profit can decrease by about 10%. But there are factors that are still very much dependent on luck. The appearance of signature cards in packs increased the nominal value. In short, this is a new high rarity card that is similar to the golden legendary card. On average, you can find both a golden and signature legendary card in a 180 pack. Such a low chance means that getting these cards is very dependent on the player's luck, since these cards can be found in a 150 pack or in a 210 pack. This is critical for free-to-play players. Premium players have a better chance of finding them, as they open more packs and the full collection will be a little cheaper for them. If you find golden and signature cards in your packs, then you are very lucky.
Guys, what about gifts during events? You stated that this is an important source of resources for obtaining a complete collection. Players have noticed a reduction in gifts throughout the Badlands phase. I collected data about all the gifts. The event, which was dedicated to the 10th anniversary of the game, gave us golden versions of cards that cannot be turned into dust, which means they are conditionally useless for expanding the collection. The celebration of the Lunar New Year also did not bring us anything useful besides cosmetics. Is this evidence of a decline in free rewards?
In fact, Birthday gifts really only had an aesthetic value, but in terms of collection, the rewards during the Lunar New Year were some of the best, as players could get 4 epic cards.
The most important reward is Walk-in Mountain. Even if you already had this card in your collection, the reroll system would allow you to replace the regular versions of this card with a random other epic card that you do not already have. Thus, in addition to the aesthetic value, this reward was guaranteed to increase your collection by 2 epic cards. The situation with Howdyfin is a little more complicated, since the gold version of this card was one of the rewards on the paid version of the rewards track, which means for premium players this reward had only aesthetic value, but free-to-play players were guaranteed to receive 2 more epic cards in their collection.
Guys, let's summarize the total number of free resources that every free-to-play player can receive in 2024. Over the course of the year, I carefully collected information about each reward and activity so that you could make your calculations.
Last year was unusual, as most expansion phases were record short. I suggest using the Badlands phase for analysis, since it was the longest, but the stats for the Whizbang expansion or any subsequent expansion will be very similar. The entire modern Hearthstone economy fits into one infographic image.
The cost of the complete collection in vacuum is 31,500 gold, provided that you buy the mini set for 2,000 gold coins. This is equivalent to 315 packs. Players have the opportunity to receive 2 free promo legendary cards. This is equivalent to approximately 15 packs and represents 5% of the entire collection. The next category is special rewards from the rewards track, which are concentrated in the first 100 levels. 2 random legendary and 1 epic card, golden versions of cards, arena tickets and packs. We converted this entire volume of resources into packs, taking into account their usefulness for compiling the collection of the expansion. All these rewards are equivalent to 33 newest packs and make up 10% of the full collection.
Daily and weekly quests are the most important source of gold for purchasing packs. For completing all quests over 18 weeks, players could receive almost 8,400 gold coins. This is equivalent to a quarter of the complete collection. Let's add to this more than 800 coins for playing time, provided that you only spent half an hour a day in the game. Yes, your playtime still has a negligible impact, and this is one of the main disadvantages of the new progression system. This category represents only 2% of the complete collection.
Another practically useless source of resources are rewards for gameplay achievements. According to our surveys, on average players complete only 30% of these tasks, which allows them to receive 130 gold coins. You can safely ignore these activities, as they are completely pointless. Participation in Tavern Brawl brought players 18 standard packs, which is equivalent to almost 9 newest packs or approximately 3% of the full collection.
A very important source of rewards is rank rewards. If you reach Diamond 5th level every month, your total reward will be equivalent to approximately 26 packs. Finally, we can talk about events. The total cost of all rewards for active players was equivalent to 15 packs or 5% of the full collection. In these calculations, we study the experience of free-to-play players, so epic cards received during the Lunar New Year celebration have the maximum value. This means that Tavern Pass holders received slightly less benefits from the event. And the last category of rewards are Twitch drops. These rewards include rewards for watching official Masters Tour tournaments, participating in theory crafting streams, and the Community Day event. All these resources are equivalent to 9 packs.
In the previous expansion phase, there was another hidden source of resources. Players were rewarded with a Diamond Legendary card for obtaining 27 Legendary cards from the expansion. The reroll system guaranteed players an increase in their card collection, which in turn slightly reduced the cost. In the Whizbang expansion, this reward is replaced with other cosmetic items that only have visual value. In the latest patch, Blizzard slightly increased the rewards for weekly tasks. This can partially compensate for the decrease in resources, but we don't yet know to what extent. Thus, the real cost of the collection of the new expansion in 2024 is approximately 101 packs, but only if you are lucky enough to find the signature and gold legendary cards. If you buy the extra 100 packs that are missing to get the full collection, you will have a chance to get these 2 cards, but this is not guaranteed if your luck is slightly below normal. In this case, the cost of the collection will increase for you by approximately another 15 packs.
During the Badlands phase, I managed to open several more packs than the infographic indicated. In addition to the fact that I was unable to find premium cards, my packs had slightly degraded statistics, which did not allow me to get a full collection of legendary cards.
This confirms that your luck has a direct impact on the cost of the collection, but it is still not critical.
Let's get back to the statistics. To compensate for the missing packs, the best solution would be to purchase the Mega Bundle for $80. This will most likely allow you to obtain a sufficient amount of resources to craft a complete collection. If you are a more active player who spends more time in the game, the cost of the full collection can be reduced to $50 if you purchase a regular pre-order. And finally, free-to-play players also have the opportunity to get all the cards for free, but for this they need to spend an additional 7 hours in the game every day. If you are an active player who does not want to spend money and a huge amount of time, then in cases of rational use of game resources you will most likely have the opportunity to collect a complete collection of all useful cards in the set. For the collectible card game genre, the cost of a full collection isn't shocking, but what about the comparison to the old progression system? Have there been any noticeable changes?
Before we get to the most interesting part and compare these results with the old progression system, we want to express our boundless gratitude to our sponsors.
Dear friends, your help is invaluable. We do everything possible to make our videos unique and useful.
We will be grateful for any support. Your hits on the bell icons and like button, comments, subscription to the channel and of course sponsorship motivate us and provide the opportunity to create more new content.
Thank you for your activity, and now let's continue. I propose to go to 2020 during the expansion period of Scholarman's Academy. This was the last expansion before the introduction of the Tavern Pass, regular mini-sets and tons of other changes in the progression system. The expansion phase was shorter, so we proportionally increased the rewards for Tavern Brawls, daily quests and the amount of gold for daily victories. All other rewards remained unchanged.
Let's briefly focus on the most important differences. To obtain the full collection, the player needed to open approximately 275 packs. The expansion promo card was 2 copies of Epic Transfer Student and the login reward was a random class legendary card. The quest system brought players significantly less gold, but despite this, players, just like now, could get a quarter of the collection, since mini-sets did not exist. The most controversial category is 10 coins for 3 wins. For these calculations, we're assuming you're using an aggro deck. Considering that you would spend 30 minutes on the game every day and even with a 50% win rate, the old system would bring you significantly more benefits. Now imagine that you are using Shopper Demon Hunter, which had an impressive win rate before the nerf. At that time, the ranking system had already been modernized and duplicate protection had been introduced. Despite the fact that there were significantly fewer events, the total reward was equivalent to more than 20 packs. Paradoxically, the Scholarman's phase was more generous with useful resources compared to the Badlands phase, during which the 10-year anniversary celebration took place.
To complete the collection, players needed to purchase 100 packs if they were lucky enough to find a golden legendary card. As you can see, luck had a slightly lesser impact on the cost of the collection. To get the full collection, it was also enough to purchase the Mega Bundle for $80 or play aggro decks for an additional 5.5 hours a day. Thus, despite a lot of changes and improvements, the cost of all cards in one expansion has returned to the 2020 standard. Moreover, in modern realities, players need to spend more time on grind to get all cards for free. Also, a ton of additional activities were added to the usual quests. To be honest, I did not expect such a result. How is this possible?
These results also surprised us very much, but despite this, the data confirms our theory about the hidden balance of resources in the game. The game is gradually becoming more expensive, but the developers are proportionally increasing the total number of free rewards in order to maintain the ideal cost of the full collection.
Despite the lack of noticeable changes on paper and the return to old pricing, the progression system has become more convenient and fair. The RAREST system is very useful in some scenarios. Playtime in almost all modes is rewarded. It's also worth noting that during Scholarman's, the total number of free resources was a little insufficient to get the entire collection for free. Now the total amount of resources is slightly more than necessary, but it takes more time to get them. At the same time, players now have the opportunity to grind passively. The overall increase in resources has made it easier for active players who don't care about the full collection to get all the cards for their favorite classes. The new changes have made the economy much more flexible, meaning players have more opportunities to extract additional benefits from their resources. Rational active players, with the right strategy, can get almost all the useful cards immediately after the expansion is released without investing money. We talked about one such strategy in our guide on turning a collection into a farm.
I have to admit that the progression system is really in its best form, even despite the fact that the cost of the collection has increased again. But the new trend scares me a little. On the one hand, the cost of the collection has returned to its previous level, and this is not critical, but this fact is still disappointing. Despite the flexibility of the progression system, it still contains a sufficient number of shortcomings. Hearthstone has enormous potential that is still untapped. We can only hope that the developers will continue to evolve this very important aspect of the game and will no longer increase the cost of expansions.
Finally, we would like to know your opinion on the current state of the progression system.
Do you feel that the game's economy has become more friendly? Have you spent more or less money on the game in the last year?
Share your thoughts in the comments and join the polls in the community tab. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you for spending this time with us. We really hope that we will have the opportunity to get in touch in the next video.
Take care of yourself.
And never give up.
Job's done.